Stop trying to be positive. The modern world is obsessed with this idea that if you just think happy thoughts or manifest your dreams, the universe will bend to your will. They tell you to repeat affirmations in the mirror. They tell you to visualize the corner office, the luxury car, the perfect partner. They tell you that overthinking is just a lack of gratitude and that if you vibrate on a higher frequency, the anxiety will simply evaporate. It is a lie. And it is a dangerous one. It is a lie sold to you by people who want to keep you weak, dependent, and perpetually unsatisfied. Because when you treat your mind like a petulant child that needs to be constantly distracted with candy-coated optimism, you never actually learn how to rule it. You are not vibrating on a lower frequency. You are just trying to fight a war against your own biology with weapons made of cotton candy. Let's be honest about where you are right now. It's 3 a.m. The house is silent. The world is asleep. But you are wide awake. Your heart is pounding. Your mind is a prison, and you are the warden, the prisoner, and the judge. You are running through the what-ifs. What if I lose my job? What if they realize I'm a fraud? What if this relationship falls apart? What if I run out of money? What if I get sick? What if nobody likes me? What if I am not enough? You have tried everything to stop it. You tried the meditation apps. You tried the breathing exercises. You tried the grounding techniques. You tried to suppress the thoughts, to push them down, to distract yourself with another Netflix series or another scroll through a feed filled with people who look happier than you. But the thoughts keep coming back, don't they? They are like weeds. You pull one, two more sprout in its place. You feel exhausted. You feel like a failure. You feel like you are walking on eggshells in your own head. You think that if you could just find the right hack or the right guru, the overthinking would finally stop. You are waiting for the moment when everything is perfect, when the obstacles vanish, when life finally feels like it's supposed to feel. But that moment isn't coming. And you are tired of pretending that it is. If you are sick of the fluff, if you are done with the performative positivity that leaves you hollow at the end of the day, then subscribe to this channel right now. We don't do coddling here. We don't do the easy path. We do the work that actually breaks the cycle. Hit the button, take your seat, and let's dismantle this. We are going back 2,000 years. The Stoics didn't have meditation apps. They didn't have self-help gurus telling them to stay positive. They had something much more brutal, much more effective, and infinitely more dangerous to the ego. They had Premeditatio Malorum. The premeditation of evils. Most people recoil at this concept. They think it's pessimism. They think it's inviting negativity into their lives. They are wrong. Premeditatio Malorum is not pessimism. It is the highest form of tactical optimism. It is the strategy of the survivor. Look at the history of the world. Really look at it. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, was the most powerful man on earth. He spent years in freezing, muddy tents on the border of the Danube, fighting barbarians while his empire was ravaged by the Antonine Plague and his own body withered from chronic illness. Do you think he woke up in his tent and thought, "I'm going to manifest a better day"? No. Every morning, he sat in the silence of his tent and imagined the worst. He imagined the betrayal of his generals. He imagined the collapse of his empire. He imagined the death of his children. He imagined his own agonizing demise. He didn't do this to be sad. He did it to be prepared. He knew that by staring the monster in the face before it arrived, he would take away its power to surprise him. When you overthink, you are not preparing. You are panicking. Panic is a reaction. Preparation is a response. The Premeditatio Malorum is the cure for your overthinking because it forces you to stop asking, "What if?" and start asking, "Then what?" Let's play this out. Let's do the work right now. You are terrified of losing your job. That is the fear, isn't it? The loss of the salary, the status, the identity. Your mind spins in circles. If I lose my job, I'm a failure. If I lose my job, everyone will see. If I lose my job, I'm ruined. Stop. That is the panic. Now, let's apply the Stoic medicine. Then what? Okay, you lose your job. Then what? You go to the unemployment office. You file the paperwork. Then what? You cut your expenses. You cancel the subscriptions. You move to a smaller apartment. Then what? You reach out to your network. You update your resume. You find a different job. Maybe it pays less. Maybe it's not as prestigious. But you are still alive. You are still breathing. You still have your reason. You still have your character. Do you see what just happened? You took the what if, the ghostly, terrifying, amorphous monster of the future, and you dragged it into the light of the present. You dissected it. You realized that the catastrophe you were so terrified of is not an annihilation. It is just a series of problems to be solved. You aren't afraid of the event. You are afraid of the fear itself. And by rehearsing the event, you destroy the fear. You see, the Stoic doesn't build a house out of fragile glass. You are currently building your identity out of glass. Your happiness depends on your job, your partner, your bank account, the opinions of your coworkers. One stone thrown, and you shatter. The Stoic builds a house out of stone. The stone is the realization that everything outside of your own character is a preferred indifferent. You prefer to have a job. You prefer to be healthy. You prefer to be wealthy. But if those things are taken away, your foundation remains untouched. Your identity is not what you have. Your identity is who you are. When you practice Premeditatio Malorum, you are performing an identity shift. You are shifting from the victim of circumstance to the strategic operator. The victim of circumstance is terrified of the future because they believe the future is a threat. They walk through the world like a prey animal, ears twitching, constantly looking for the predator. They think that if they worry enough, they can somehow ward off the evil. The strategic operator knows that the future is just a playground for their competence. This is the paradigm shift. You stop trying to control the uncontrollable, the outcome, and you focus entirely on the only thing you own, your response. You need to cultivate the capacity to be indifferent to the very things you are most terrified of losing. This is not apathy. This is supreme power. If you can say to yourself, with total honesty, if I lose everything tomorrow, I will still be me, and I will still be able to handle it, then you are untouchable. You are the eye of the storm. Imagine the freedom of that state. Imagine walking into a meeting, not terrified of being fired, but ready to speak your truth regardless of the consequences. Imagine being in a relationship, not terrified of being dumped, but loving with your whole heart while knowing you would survive if it ended. That is not coldness. That is courage. That is the Stoic boundary. Now, let's be practical. You want to cure the overthinking. You want to turn the noise into silence. Here is your daily protocol. First, the morning audit. Before you check your phone, before you let the world write your script for the day, you sit. You take 3 minutes. You visualize the worst-case scenario of your current project, your current relationship, your current day. Don't look away from the discomfort. Feel the sting. Feel the potential loss. And then, ask the question, is this the end of the world? The answer will always be no. You will see that you are still here. You are still you. The fear will evaporate because you have already walked through the fire in your mind. Reality can no longer burn you, because you have already endured it in the simulation. Second, the dichotomy of control. Throughout the day, when the thoughts start to spiral, you execute a mental check. Is this within my control? If it is within your control, your effort, your integrity, your words, do it with excellence. If it is outside of your control, the economy, the weather, the opinions of others, you drop it. You treat it like the weather. You don't get angry at the rain. You just put on a coat. Third, the alignment test. Overthinking is often a symptom of misalignment. You are overthinking because you are living in a way that violates your own values. You are saying yes when you want to say no. You are working on projects you hate. You are tolerating behavior you despise. Your mind is screaming because your life is a lie. Premeditatio Malorum forces you to see the truth. If the thought of losing your job terrifies you, maybe it's not the job you're afraid of losing, maybe it's the fact that you know you're wasting your life in a role that doesn't fit you. If the thought of losing your partner terrifies you, maybe it's because you know the relationship is built on a foundation of insecurity rather than truth. Your overthinking is a warning light on the dashboard of your life. Stop trying to paint over it. Start listening to it. People will tell you this is bleak. They will say, why would you want to think about death and failure every morning? Because death and failure are coming for you anyway. You can either meet them with your eyes open, or you can cower in the corner while they surprise you. You are made of the same atoms as the stars. You are a conscious being capable of logic, reason, and virtue. You have been given a short window of existence in a chaotic, irrational universe. Why are you spending that window cowering in the corner, terrified of what if? You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you know. But you are currently burying that strength under a mountain of neurotic anxiety. You are not broken. You are just untrained. You have allowed your mind to become a runaway train. It is time to step into the engineer's cabin. It is time to grab the controls. It is time to stop reacting to the world and start acting upon it. The anxiety you feel is the energy of your potential being wasted on internal friction. Redirect that energy. Stop fighting the ghosts. They aren't real. The only thing that is real is your character. The only thing that is real is your choices. The only thing that is real is what you do in this very second. Stop waiting for the perfect mindset. There is no perfect mindset. There is only the disciplined mind. There is only the mind that has been forged in the fire of its own worst fears. You can handle the worst. You can survive the collapse. You can navigate the ruin. Once you know that, you are dangerous. Once you know that, you are free. The noise is dying. The focus is returning. The path is clear. You don't need a guarantee of safety. You need the confidence of your own competence. You don't need a world without obstacles. You need the mind that turns obstacles into fuel. You are the architect of your own destruction or your own salvation. Choose salvation. Stop the spiral. Start the strategy. Today is the day you stop being a victim of your thoughts and become the master of your reality. Get to work.